Alright YouTube, how's it going? Buster's Sunday video on basses. This week it's about my 1980 East German P-bass. Story behind this is about a couple of years. I do guitar repairs and I don't do them religiously. I do them periodically. It just depends if people, I've got an ad up and stuff like that. If people contact me, I don't actively look for guitars to repair, but if people ask me, I do them. And a mate, this must be about a year ago, 2 years ago, a couple of guitars to repair. So there was 4 guitars. One was an EBO copy for Grant, I think it was a Grant EBO copy, short scale, a Fender Stratocaster copy, Hondo 2 I think it was, and 2 acoustics. So I went to his house and the deal was I picked up 2 guitars, I went to repair them, came back, picked up the other 2 and he was to pay me when I came back with the other 2 guitars. So once all 4 was repaired. So I picked up the 2 electric guitars first, the EBO and the Stratocaster, the Strat copy. And I happened to be talking to him and this was sitting in the corner. And I said to him, "Oh, so you want that repaired?" He went, "Oh no, I'm going to sell that, and when I sell it, I'm hoping to sell it. And then whatever money I make, that'll pay you, or recoup the money for paying you to repair the guitars." So I said to him, "Well, why don't you just give me that, and I'll repair your guitars." So that's how I ended up with this. When I first got it, I thought it was 70s. So I did a wee bit of research on it. It took me months trying to find this guitar, because obviously there's no name on it. There's no name anywhere, where it was from, when it was made, anything like that. So scouring the internet and happened to go into Reverb, B-basses, just random listening, just lying, watching TV, and happened to go into Reverb and I seen a Sunburst one of these. And why I knew it was one of these and it was the same make of guitar was the guy explained the neck, and the way he explained it is exactly the way this neck is. It's called the baseball bat neck because it feels like what they did was turn the baseball bat and then cut it in half and stuck it to guitar. It is fat neck. There's another thing, the tuners were exactly the same, and there's a rubber locating hole that they plugged up with a piece of rubber here. I think it's where they've obviously mounted it to router it or do whatever they're doing, obviously to keep it in line. Exact same guitar. So I found it, I don't even know how to pronounce the name. That's my name. Should have really googled this before I started the video, but started with an M, East German made. So I've googled it and I've started looking into the guitar. So found a forum about these guitars, and at that point I had never took it apart, never. I did the setup on it, that's it, never took it apart, it worked. So on the forum they were saying underneath the pickup, these pickup covers I've added myself, but under the pickup, if you take the pickup off, it's usually stamped the date underneath the pickup. So I've proceeded to take the guitar apart. The pickups have been in that long. Now I don't know if you know P-basses, if you're into basses. There's usually a piece of, you've got to pick up a piece of foam, and then you've got the spring with the screw going through it to obviously adjust it, so when you unscrew the screw, the pickup still goes to the height of the top of the screw. These pickups had been in that long, that piece of foam, and turned into rubber and welded itself to the inside of the guitar. So I've took them off, scraped it off, sanded it, and found a date underneath the pickup. Now the date is stamped in with a type stamp, so it was very light. So I had to put a wee bit of ink on it. So this was made in March 1980. Just so happens, I was made in March 1980, well, I was born March 1980. So this guitar's exactly the same age as me. This guitar's 40 years old, 41 March coming. Heavy guitar, East German made. For what I've read in the forums, obviously East Germany in the 1980s, they couldn't import stuff from America because of the Cold War and stuff like that. Don't remember history. I don't know, was it East Germany? They split Germany in half after the Second World War with the wall. East Germany was part of the Soviet Union, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was East Germany was part of the Soviet Union. So under Stalin. So they weren't import American guitars. There's no way. Cold War. They're not going to let anything from America come in. So East Germany started making their own. This is what they made. Call it the lawsuit era because it looks, the headstock's exactly the same as a Fender. But the specs were, I mean, the neck is thick, as I said, baseball bat neck. Solid piece of wood. Machine heads are kind of strange because they're open gear, elephant ear, but they've got a bolt rather than a ferrule. So rather than having the ferrule in and you put the pickup, the machine head through and then screw it in, that's what holds it in line. They've actually got a bolt on it. The only thing that I've did to it since I've got it, I've not changed the pickup. I eventually changed the pots because the pots were working, but they were really scratchy. And no matter how much contact cleaner I put in it, it just wasn't going away. Here now it's perfect. There's no scratchiness or anything like that. Shoulder work, stuff like that. I changed the knobs, so what I did was I got chrome knobs and I took some steel wheel to them to kind of age them. Same with the ashtrays. Why they're called ashtrays because the guitars came with them and musicians used to take them off and use them as ashtrays. That's why that's called an ashtray. And then obviously the pickup cover. This pickup cover is actually off a jazz bass. It's not a P bass pickup cover or an ashtray because it's big enough that if you put it onto a jazz bass, it would cover the bridge and the bridge pickup. But I thought it looked pretty cool on this. The buttons are the same. The frets, for what I can see, because you can still basically they've lacquered the fretboard as well, and there's still bits of lacquer on the sides of the frets. The frets have never been changed, and there's no wear on them whatsoever. So I don't know what metal they used, but it must be titanium or something. Obviously it's no, but it must be strong, or it's not been played very well. One of the two. I don't play it very often. It sits up on my wall because it's an old guitar and heavy. It's nice to play. The strings on it are the same strings that were on it when I got the guitar from my mate who was fixing the guitars. I don't think for 1 minute it's the original guitars for the 80s because they're rocal sounds. And they're old rocal sounds as well because they're not the RS66s, but the old RS66s, because if you use rocal sounds what I do, all RS66s all come taped, they've got the red thread round the top and bottom. These don't, but the other RS66s, exact same gauge, everything stainless steel. So they're old RS66s, don't know where from. Why I can tell they're rocal sounds is because they've got the red, white and blue ball ends on them. Neck straight, there's not a lot of adjustment being done to the neck. It's when I've adjusted it, it's only just on and no more. So I don't think this guitar was played very much. It must be all cellulose lacquer as well because it's all that kind of cracked way where the lacquer's shrinked and cracked in the back. It's got a few bird's eyes on it as well. Original plate. Yeah, it's a really nice bass. But the whole thing I did do change was I changed the nut because the nut was awful. Throttle adjuster's down here, it's one of the wheels. but the nut was really bad. Somebody, I don't know if somebody had been at it and cut it too deep, or it had just wore away. Maybe no. So I've changed it to a black nut. I still need to do a wee bit of work, still a bit. Needs a bit lower, but it's alright. So I want to hear the bass on, so this is the tone all the way on. Just tone all the way off. Messed that up there. It's strange to play with a pickup cover, even though I've got the old, I've got the copy, the 401 that's got a pickup cover, but the spacing between this pickup cover and this pickup is really tight, and if you play up here it's kind of weird. I like playing about here, my thumb on the pickup cover, but it's still, it's weird. I need to sit and play it for a while. But aye, that's a 1980s East German Fender copy. Now the facts with it, East Germany being in Soviet rule and stuff, I think that's right. But even still, even if it wasn't, if it was the opposite way about, they weren't going to let any American guitars in. No chance, no in the 80s anyway. So they obviously made their own, as East Germans do. They just make their own stuff because they think they can do things better. And to be fair, it is a really nice guitar. So the machine heads are still original, pickups are still original, even though I had to de-weld them from the inside of the guitar. Pickup covers exactly as original. I can tell that as well because the way it's been notched out for the truss rod adjuster, and the way it's cut round the actual neck pot, the neck heel. Changed the pots, as I said, because the pots were really scratchy, so at the same time I changed the input jack as well, changed that. Buttons are the same, put on these covers. I kind of sanded them with a wire roll so they looked kind of authentic rather than being all shiny when the guitar's all kind of rough, and it's kind of road worn as well. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know, there's enough wood on the body, because somebody has originally sanded it. I think somebody's tried to sand it, but when they have, they've kind of chopped into the wood a wee bit. There's enough wood there. If I spent a bit of time, I could get the body back to be totally flat and then refinish it, but I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to do that. I maybe just keep it as is because it looks kind of good, this kind of road worn look. But it's no guitar I'm going to be playing anyway. So that's kind of why I'm kind of wavering whether to just refinish it or keep it the way it is. I think I might just keep it the way it is, to be honest with you. It's a two-piece neck, so it's got a fretboard added to it. You can kind of see the finish starting to flake off here. Black dot, and as I say, the frets are still original frets. There's no way that anybody's ever took them off, and there's no any wear on them, no dings or anything, so I don't know what metal they've made of them. I don't know. So it's probably some experimental compound that these Germans did back in the 80s. So yeah, it's a nice bass. My oldest bass I've got, it says it's March 1980, so it's exactly the same as me, so there's no way I'd ever get rid of this. So, hope you liked the video this week. Wee short one for you, well, 14 minutes. East German guitar, yeah, lovely guitar. And I'll have a nice Christmas, because I'll not be doing a video until next Sunday, which is after Christmas. So have a nice Christmas. Hope you're all safe, and speak to you soon. Cheers.